Hey guys, my name is Hab and this is the STB1. A bit late, I know, but personal circumstances have limited me from making this review earlier. Here we go. Before we start, I don't think the STB needed a buff. Maybe to the hull, yes, but the turret and sidearm buffs are a bit too much in my opinion. It is a much better tank because of it, but I link the Japanese line with skill and finesse. I don't think it should be easier to grind, although the Type 61 definitely deserved it. Anyways, I'm going on a rant again, forgive me for that. Let's talk about the gun first. The gun is identical to the one on the Type 61. Same pen, albeit the gun feels a tiny bit more satisfying to use, especially against the tier 10 Russian mediums. Decent DPM, decent pen, and decent accuracy. Nothing particularly impressive, but it counts. I feel that the gun is in a perfect spot. The armor is where it gets really funky. I'm not gonna talk values much this time. What I want to emphasize is that if you know what you're doing with terrain, you're gonna absolutely love this tank. 110mm of frontal armor, rather strangely angled, will give you some lucky bounces if you hide the lower glacis and wiggle a bit. The side armor is now pretty alright, but don't expect it to side scrape too well. Mediums shouldn't really be able to do that. The rear is still really weak, so watch out for that. The turret is where it gets even funkier. The cheeks are the weakest point of the armor. Around 200mm of cheek armor. That gets a bit better when you use your 10 degrees of gun depression. By the way, your elevation isn't too good. That gun depression makes the already not very pronounced cheeks even smaller of a target. Your only hope of going through at that point would be aiming for the cupola, which surprisingly not many people actually do. It's not a huge cupola, but it's still there, and being aware of it will help you a lot in getting some nice bonuses and bounces along the way. This armor, however, wouldn't be all that great on a medium, weren't it for the great mobility of the STB. It's actually quite fast. It reaches speeds over 50 without issues and turns quite fast, gets up hills quickly. This is what I'm looking for in a medium. I think that the only other medium which can rival this smooth and high mobility is the Leopard 1. This blend of mobility, armor and a reliable gun is what makes the tank for me. It was great even before the massive buff to its armor, and if you have it correctly equipped, it can prove to be quite an asset to your team. Speaking of equipment, I'm running calibrated shells mainly due to the penetration, which is fine when using rammer, but you really ought to improve that heat. Then improved modules and optics. For the second row, I'd recommend the gun length drive, mainly due to the less than stellar aim time. Then the enhanced armor, but the improved assembly is also quite a good choice. Then the engine accelerator, as your traverse is already quite good actually. For the last row, either the stabilizer or the refined gun. I'd lean more towards the stabilizer as you're gonna be driving around quite a bit, but the refined gun will also help a bit if you're playing more at a distance. With all of the bells and whistles, your dispersion should be something around 0.28. Then the toolbox and the consumable delivery system. And with that out of the way, two replays. One is from me, albeit affected by the Uprising Mode XP dilemma, and the second one is from TK Moreira, who shows us how it's done, with a bit of luck. Alright, so this is TK Moreira on Port Bay. Yeah, in case you want to know how long I've had this recording, it was for a month and I was still recording it from the Steam version, which runs like absolute garbage. Apparently the Windows 10 version works without issues, so that's what you're gonna see in the later recordings, so pardon me if there are any lag spikes. So, Moreira already does the basic thing that you do in the STB. You hide the hull. How do you hide the hull? By going up, for example. If you're above on a bridge or something, then they're gonna have a really hard time hitting your hull, and if you're at a distance, they're gonna also have a really hard time trying to pin your turret. And so he's trying to find a cheeky shot on the bat chat, and I don't think that one works. Yeah, that the one doesn't work. His teammate Vespers in the 140 does also pretty well, but he's gonna die near the end. That doesn't really matter in the concept, in the grand scheme of things. We're a minute in and we have already lost an AMX-50V, not a good start. He has also missed the E4, his platoon mate hit it, so it's all fine. That's a lucky bounce. That's a lucky bounce. Sure, you have better side armor than you used to, but it's still definitely not good for side scraping or anything like that. Now, these are just some really cheeky shots. The gun, while it's not great, it definitely helps you a lot in trying to get these shots. So it's actually kind of possible compared to something like, I don't know, a 1-2-1 where you still need to aim in due to its gun through. Speaking of a 1-2-1, that was just it. And yeah, now he bumps into a building like a tosser, but right now he's trying to relocate because it looks like these guys can handle it here, and currently his platoon mate needs a lot of help. So here we go, that's a waffle. We'll see that waffle later. Don't worry. It seems that his platoon mate is completely screwed though. Yup, there we go. Now, I did say that this battle includes a bit of luck, and you're gonna see it very soon. I live in the bad chat already messing up quite a few shots. So, right now the results don't seem kind of impressive, but that's all about to change rather soon, actually. Here we go, that's the IS-7, boom. And Moreira's gonna finish him off, which is very important, honestly. In this kind of a situation, you just need to get rid of the tanks as quick as you can. Less guns means a higher chance to win. Easy. Now the waffle is gonna be the biggest problem during this entire battle. Now it's a 1v3, and look at these guys, they got a lot more health than Moreira has. So what he does here is pretty smart actually. He's trying to get a decent position from which he could ambush them, preferably hold down, but this bad chat won't stop bothering him. So that's the first guy that will have to get out of the game. Oh, that's a lucky bounce, alright. And the bad chat doesn't really seem to aim properly. And oh god, you're gonna see some flexing around this. Look at this, he misses, and then he's just gonna start rolling around the terrain. The STB isn't like really quick, but the fact that it has a decent engine and pretty decent power to weight ratio, he splashed himself. The fact that it has a decent power to weight ratio allows it to do bamboozles like this, as Papa Bushka would say. And near the end of the battle, the E4 makes a critical mistake, which is this. If he had not gone over the hill like that, Moreira probably would have lost. So it's kind of all of the E4. Yeah, now we already see that it seems that he's gonna hit over 6,000 damage. Not a bad result at all. Not bad at all. I'm proud of this guy. Now, I guess while the battle results are gonna roll in, I'm gonna talk a bit of like how it took me almost like 2 months to make this video, and that's kind of on me. Mainly because I had a lot of stuff to deal with in my personal life. So this recording was sitting at my PC since like October, and now that it's like 7th of November, I suppose I should apologize for the delay. Although I have been trying to make it clear that I am indeed alive. It's currently about 7:30 p.m. and I'm currently happy that my room is empty, that I can record this in a rather relative silence. This is Jagdpanther, or as I also know him, Hermes. He's from Unknown in this case, and he got the STB rather recently. Now, let's just think that he's pretty good with it, even though it's a rather new tank for him. And I would say that the quirky armor profile is easily the thing that takes you the most amount of time to get used to. Mainly due to the fact that you always expect people to aim at your cupola, but nobody does that. They instead aim at your turret cheeks, which are somehow an easier target to hit. Sorry, I'm kind of confused. The last few weeks, I haven't been sleeping that well either. My watch says I've been sleeping for 8 hours, but I don't believe that. Okay, anyways. We already have a rather nasty proposition, but as you can see, this is basically the meat and potatoes of the STB. hill fighting, using that gun depression, hiding your hull. That's the 3 main points that you need to get in your head when you're playing with the STB. Do that, and then once you master these things, you can master getting some good damage, for example. Right now I think I'm sitting on 60% with the tank. That's not bad for me actually, even though I believe it could be a lot better since I love the tank a lot. I really wanted to also like include my own replay, but I kind of gave up on that. I'm still getting used to playing on PC, so you're gonna have to forgive me for that. But yeah, that will just so that like I was starting to complain about it, and then Hermes or Jefferson just came by and he was like, hey, you want this replay? I know it's a bit of luck, but it's definitely less lucky than Moreira's replay, I would say, because the Foch at the enemy team, oh, just you wait, that's gonna be special. Oh god. Right now his health isn't too impressive either. He's already very low on health, 200 HP, and that's how he stays through the rest of the battle. Everything. He's one-shot to everything in this match. The Foch, the 1-2-1, the standard B, everything. You name it, it can kill him. No issues. So his situation is currently no bueno. Now, the 1-1-3 is where a lot of the damage comes in too, because it's basically a huge HP pinata for him, as it doesn't focus any attention on him. Which is kind of interesting. I would suggest to remove the STB as quick from this battle as you can, because looking at him, he's in a very, very advantageous position, and he's getting all of the shots that he can. I suppose I'm gonna let it run for a bit as well. I was at first planning to do a Revolorse review after this, since I already have quite a few battles in it, and I thought that it would be nice. But then when the Super Test news came out that it's gonna get an alpha buff, I am gonna wait a little bit. I don't think it needed an alpha buff, though I definitely appreciate it. So instead of that, I'm gonna be making a Jagdpanther 2 review next. I already have the sufficient materials ready, and I can record it whenever I want to. I think I can make it next week probably, as I don't have any time during the weekend, family stuff. Anyways, he's currently rolling in damage. He's already almost at 4,000 damage. There we go. Now, whatever that tank is, I can't really see from the Vegas preview, sorry. I think that's a pattern? That's a pattern, yeah. The pattern helped him a lot during this. I don't think he would be able to win without the pattern, as he distracted the enemy a lot. And there we go, that's the standard B, possibly the best player out of the enemy team roster gone. Now, what's left is a very healthy Foch 155. Unfortunately, the Foch 155 has also been sniffing glue for the past 4 minutes. So you can easily see just how bad he is at firing that. Boom. It's like he has 2000 ping or something. And there we go. He's already a one-shot. Fucking hell. Jesus Christ. I'm so glad I don't have the 155 hit. But our main protagonist here in the STB is gonna have a lot of problems. See, that's the first shot he misses out of many. I guess that kind of explains why the battle goes on for another 2 minutes or so. Yeah, that's why this battle is so long. It just took that long to hit him and not get hit in return. And that was a close call, because that wasn't a bounce, that was something that seemed to be absorbed, or just hit the turret at a pretty horrible angle. Sorry if you heard that was my phone. Anyways, that's like, I'm gonna recap what you should do in the STB during the end of this. Okay, so first, make sure you're in an advantageous position first, because you're a medium that has to absolutely take advantage of that. Like, your gun is basically middle of the road, it's not anything special, so you can't really rely on dishing out the damage all of the time. Next, you're gonna have to make sure that you're hull down in almost every situation. While your hull has been buffed, it's not good enough. It's just not good enough. The 140 can tank a bit. The 121, sure, whatever, as long as you hide the low releases. The STB, no, not at all. So if you hide the low releases, you're also good to go. And finally, make sure you use the gun depression to its fullest, because goddamn the turret gets really, really hard to pen after that. Trust me, it's from personal experience. Anyways, here we finally see it rolling up. So I suppose if you like wanted to like give me replays or something, like feel free to join my Discord server, which I should have in the description. Anyways, that is the battle. Almost 6,000 damage, a top gun, not bad at all. That's a pretty respectable result. I don't think it's a collab though, so rip. But hey, he did all that he could, and he did it very, very well. You'll also find out that the STB doesn't really make credits at all. Anyways, that's gonna be it for me. My name is Hab. If you somehow liked this video, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll catch you all next time. Bye bye.